Hi, welcome to Sewing with Sandy. Simplicity spring patterns are out and we are going to look at 10 of them, 10 for women with some fabric options, and we're going to talk about the patterns and how they're constructed and who actually can sew them, what kind of skills you need, and just an overall impression of what these 10 women's patterns will look like once they're finished and how we can go about adding them to our spring wardrobe. They are so cute. You're going to love them. All the information on the patterns and the fabrics mentioned and anything else will be in the document down below through the link, and you can see it all written down, so it'll be a lot easier to figure out than trying to take copious notes while you're listening to the video. So the first one we're going to start with is a Mimi G pattern, and she does great designs. They're very youthful and chic and modern, and they have some interesting techniques. And the other thing with her patterns, she always does a sew along, which is really nice because if you're taking a pattern and it's new to you, and that some of the things that she adds to her patterns are a little interesting, which gives them really good design detail. So she does a sew along. So the first one we have is a caplet. It's basically a cape, but it's got some really interesting design details. It's got a flap, like a rain flap they call it, or a water flap. It goes around the back and only on one side on the front, so it's asymmetrical, which looks really nice. And it's got some cute little pockets. One of the things that I really like about this pattern is it's got tabs on the side. So you know, with a cape, right, you have all that drapey stuff and it kind of shifts around. This has two little tabs here on the side to hold the cape together so it doesn't float from front to back or side to side or twist. So I really like that. So that is Simplicity 9893, and it comes in, so that pattern comes in one envelope, extra small through extra extra large, which is really nice because you have good options for that. And capes are pretty easy to make, but this one has some interesting pocket details which will expand your sewing skills. So if you're just starting out to sew, this is a good pattern for you. And tweed is everywhere. You can make this out of denim, you can make it out of boiled wool, but a tweed would look really cute. And I've chosen a kind of a apple green tweed that isn't a real like in your face kind of tweed. So like from far away, it would look like a solid, but when you get up close, the cape would have lots of really interesting details. You could also color block this with that rain flap across the front and all the way across the back. That would be really cute too. You did black and gray or maroon and, you know, a black or something like that. So depending on your style aesthetic, there's a lot of really good options for this one. So speaking of color block dresses, the next one is a color block dress that has a bias cut color block swath across the front and the back. So it's kind of these semicircles going across. And there's two of these. There's a Mrs. pattern and a women's pattern, which is really nice. So they've added extra sizes. Instead of just the basic up to size 16 or 18, they've gone into women's sizes, and it goes all the way up to 38 women's, so that's a really good range of pattern. Pattern has princess seams on the top bodice part with little darts, little straight darts off of the princess seam, and then an A-line skirt with those big swaths going across. So color blocking this would be really cute, and you could do this in all kinds of fabrics that have some drape to it because you have that really nice skirt. You want that to drape really well. You could do it in a crepe or a rayon or anything that has some movement to it that isn't too stiff, and cotton wouldn't work quite as well. But you really, because it's fitted at the top, you really want to make a practice garment with that bodice just to make sure it fits like right on. And there's just an invisible zipper in the back. So it's certainly doable for somebody that is a kind of an advanced beginner that wants to learn to put in a zipper or wants to work with bias. You have to be a little careful with those bias fabrics. They're going to stretch. You don't want them to stretch out of shape. So you got to take care with those. But if you go to Mood, you can buy swatches. So say you decide to use crepe, which I think would be a beautiful alternative for this, and it comes in lots of great solid colors. You can buy 6, 8 different swatches and then get them home and play with the color blocking until you get it exactly the way you want it, and then go back and order it instead of ordering 3 fabrics and getting them home and be like, ugh, little one's just off a little bit. So if you're really interested in making this something that is going to have some longevity that you're going to love in your wardrobe, then I would suggest getting samples first. That would be a great way to start if you can't find them at your local fabric store. The next dress is a knit dress. It's a one shoulder kind of Grecian style knit dress. Not 100% sold on this one. First of all, I'm not a one shoulder person. I'm not crazy about my arms. I mean, I'll wear sleeveless garments, but not a one shoulder. That's a lot. It's a lot. And then on top of that, this pattern has a huge cutout in the back. So it runs from the side all the way around to the back, right around the waistline. And if you are a size 4 and love showing off your back, then this may be the garment for you. But if you're not and you don't, then I would move on. It is very Grecian, you know, it's very interesting. It's a dressy dress, and I think that if you're looking for something for a party and you like that cold shoulder kind of look, then I would definitely go with that. And I recently made a jacket and tank with a crushed stretch velvet from Minerva that I absolutely loved. Would look stunning in this dress. So the fourth one we have is a cargo skirt. It's kind of an interesting little cargo skirt. The options for fabrics are pretty much endless. It comes in short, mid-calf, and long length, and it has a drawstring waist, so it's not very fitted. Typically, like cargo pants have a fly front and a waistband. This has a drawstring through the waistband. So if you're looking for something a little easier to sew because it doesn't have a fly front, or a little more casual, this would do it. It's got lots of pockets. It's got cargo pockets. And if you want to learn how to make cargo pockets, this might be a good alternative. You can do some top stitching on it. It's kind of cute. I would like it in a denim, I think. It's a lot of skirt with those big pockets on the side, and I think you would have to be on the more youthful side to wear it. I think it would be cute for a younger person because it does have those big wide cargo pockets on the side, which just wouldn't work for me, but maybe they're just what you need. Pattern number 5 is a blouse, Simplicity 9889 and 9890. So again, this comes in the misses sizes and the women's sizes, which I think is great because it expands our opportunity for sewing, and I wish that more patterns came this way so you wouldn't have to like draft up or draft down to get it to the size that you need it. But it's a real classic blouse with a twist. So it's a button-down collar with a placket, nice collar, several sleeve options, and then at the end of the bodice there's kind of a sew-on tail, so it doesn't button all the way down. So it's kind of an updated little blouse with a twist. And every season I end up sewing a new white blouse because, you know, it is the go-to blouse that you grab all the time if you need something. It's like, ooh, white linen blouse, ooh, white silk blouse, whatever. So after several iterations and several years, they get drab. So I kind of replace them as we go, and it's really nice to have a silk one and a linen one, and then maybe something that's made from cotton shirting, and then every couple of years you can kind of replace them and update the style too. I mean, we don't wear very often like a plain men's style button-down blouse now. We wear something that has a little bit more design and a little better cut. So this is a good option for that, and I think it would be easy to construct for somebody that's just wanting to learn how to make buttonholes. There's only a few, or learn how to put a collar. So this one actually is going to go on my sewing list. I think I'm going to get this one and make it out of a really nice crisp linen to add to my closet because I'm ready for a new white linen blouse. So this one you will see probably a sew along in the not too distant future. Number 6 is the flowy dress that we've seen everywhere, right? They are these ditzy prints in this super light fabric with the boho sleeves, and they're tiered skirts. They're kind of everywhere. And this one is a little bit different version on that. So if you like that look, or if you, like myself, I've made a bunch of them. I'm not interested in making another one, but if you haven't made one, this might be the one that you want to give it a try. It's got a traditional collar and a button-down placket and an elastic waist. It comes like in a short version and then a mid calf length just above the ankle, which is about where a lot of them are riding. And then the billowy sleeves with a little elastic waist. But what it has as an interesting detail is an elastic peekaboo in the back. So the back bodice and skirt are separated and there's an elastic opening there. So if you like to show off a little slice of skin and you're really happy with your lower back because you've been doing lots of hinges and weightlifting, then this might be the dress for you. It's cute and it would look adorable out of a really light cotton lawn with a little kind of floral print, perfect for spring, and then something like with a little bit of flash as you turn around to leave. It would be like, oh, look at that. That's really cute. So this is a different version of those boho dresses. And I think that if you're in the market for one, this might be something that people haven't seen before. So it's a little different. It's got a little more, a little different design style to it. The next one is a pair of jeans. And these jeans are loaded with design style. They have the classic, fly front, yoke, side pocket, the slash pockets and the patch pockets in the back. They have a little bit of a flare at the bottom, but what they have is this really interesting design line for the side seams that comes around to the front and around to the back. And when you color block these, you can really create an illusion with the fabric you choose. I mean, if you choose something dark for that section that's on the outer side where the side seams would be, and a lighter denim for the inside, you're definitely going to get a much slimmer look out of these. Now, you have to like sewing with denim. You have to like doing flat fell seams and belt loops and fly fronts and all of that. But if you're into making jeans, this is something really different. It's not the same old jeans that you see everywhere. And jeans are taking on a whole new look. If you go into any of the stores and look at retail jeans, they are being designed in very interesting ways. And I think this pattern takes you there in a simple way, and it gives you lots of options. So if you like sewing jeans, try this one. I think you'll like it. Number 8 is a color blocked jacket. Fun, super fun, and very youthful. It has quilted shoulder pieces, lots of zippers, tons of pockets, binding on the edge. So if you are a beginner, this might not be the jacket that you want to start with. Or if you do start with it, use some fabrics that are inexpensive so you can get some of the kinks out of the way, because there's inset zippers and the binding can be a little tricky, and then the quilting needs to be like spot on, so you need to practice that. But for somebody that's looking for a youthful, interesting jacket with lots of color, this is really a good option. You could make it a little bit more subtle using more muted fabrics. On the pattern here, they have, the girls pattern has white and fuchsia and bright orange, which is gorgeous. It's adorable. But you could also do it in a gray with a black and a white maybe, or something burgundy, something a little bit more muted, and it wouldn't be as in your face. There's also snaps that go into this, and snaps again are something that you don't want to do like right on your finished garment for the first time. You want to make sure that you practice those ahead of time, because once you punch that puppy in, if it's wrong, it's a problem. So great jacket to learn some new techniques on. Number nine is another Mimi G pattern. And again, her styles are youthful and they're interesting and they're right on trend. And this is a bustier corset with a circle skirt. So there's a little, they're not connected. There's a little slice of skin showing all the way around the waist. It's a cropped corset, and but very fitted with bra cups and a side zipper, and then the skirt is a little circle skirt or a full length. I think it comes in a longer version with a side slit. So they're very well fitted. This is a garment that you're going to want to make a sample for, at least for the bustier. You're going to want to make one out of a muslin and give it a try, because you want that to fit like perfect. But again, she has a sew along, which is great because you can take all of the techniques and watch her actually put them together. So lastly, there is a unisex sweatshirt. It is in a traditional length version and then a super long version. It's couch cozy, comfy. You can make it out of fleece or a double knit. It's a great pattern for somebody that is just learning because there aren't any closures or zippers, and you are going to work with some ribbing. It'll give you the techniques for attaching a ribbing, which needs to make something smaller. So there's like a neck ribbing and a base ribbing and ribbing around the sleeves. Not hard to do, just a different technique. So it gives you an opportunity to work with knits, and you can come up with something really beautiful without a lot of heartache, right? So you should be very successful when you're working with this pattern, especially as a beginner. And if you go on Mood or Minerva or any of the online websites, the fabric choices for double knit and fleece, the colors are just sensational. You get creamsicle and turquoise and plum, and they're just so saturated and so rich. And a couple of sweatshirts in these fabrics, in these beautiful colors, would be perfect to add to your spring wardrobe, because sometimes you just need a little bit of warmth, right? It's kind of chilly sometimes in the evening. You throw this on, you are ready to go. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough with Simplicity's 10 new spring patterns. I'm sure there's something in here you're going to love. I'm going to select a couple, certainly that blouse and maybe the sweatshirt pattern. I'm not too sure. I think that would be fun to do, and add them to my spring sewing pile. So until next time, happy sewing. Bye.